All right, mate, let's have a look at race 7, the Hill Stakes, which is a weight for age race, 2,000 metres, Group 2 level. Prices. Moraine 750, Ginga Dude 10, Class is Class 6, 290 Lamasery in from 320, Permit 650, 11 Stout Hearted, 11 Polish Knight, 13. It's had support, Lights of Heaven.
It's had support.
15 to 13.
Wow.
I might
race.
be predicting 9 more scratchings.
Still find a way to get beaten at the moment, wouldn't it? Great race, mate. I've gone for Class is Class. Thought his run first up was super in the tramway. I know we're a bit questionable about the tramway form, but...
yeah, I wouldn't be worried about it with a horse like him, but...
No. And
he's a 2,000 metre plus horse.
He got back. He drew out off the track. He got back in that race. He ran home good. He was only beaten about 2.5, 3 lengths. And it's been a little bit of a spruik on him as well. So, and this is a winnable race for a horse of his nature. Respect Moraine. Obviously, he goes very good second up.
What about the favourite?
Gone well with Huey on him.
What are you saying about Lamasery?
Look, Lamasery's got as good a chance as most of them, but $2.90 is pretty skinny odds for him, and he's sort of yet to prove himself at Group 2 level. He's run a couple of good races last year, or was it earlier this year? No, last year, this time. But I just think there's a couple of horses in this race that are pretty good horses. Obviously, ones like Stout Hearted and that, and Polish Knight, when he's right, he's a good horse. And Moraine ran second in a Group 1 weight for age race down there last spring in McKinnon Stakes, and that's pretty good form for a race like this too. So, but I'm happy to stick with Waller's Class is Class.
Well, I'm pretty keen on Moraine on an each way basis here. You're almost getting double each way odds at 750, or pretty close to the mark, $9 double each way odds. But look, he's a proven weight for age horse. He's a proven Group 1 weight for age stayer. He did run second, beaten half a length or 3/4 in a McKinnon Stakes. He then came out and got beaten just over 3/4 in a zipping classic behind American Manigar. Well, Manigar's form's pretty close to the yardstick across the country at the moment.
Yep.
12 months ago he was up here. He ran in the Kingston Town Classic. I know that's a long time ago, but he was beaten 3.7 by Lamasery in that, but he gave Lamasery 5.5 kilos that day. He beat Lamasery. Granted, Lamasery was coming off a setback, but he beat him 4 lengths in the Zipping Classic, a weight for age.
Yep.
And granted, that was 2,400, not 2,000. I just can't see where the difference is in the prices here. Lamasery's $2.90 chance, and I don't concede I'm not saying he hasn't got a chance. I think he's got a good chance, but $2.90 is a ridiculous price when you can get $7.50 Moraine.
Yep. Totally agree.
I'll be all over Moraine on an each-way basis. The key to it is how they're going to ride this horse. I want to see him ridden positively and up near the speed.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen there. So I'm gambling that that's the way they'll ride him. His first up run was unreal. He only got beaten 2.6 behind Southern Speed Maniga in the Mackay Diva. He probably brought about Maniga's undoing because he was going well enough to keep him in a pocket there for a few strides.
Yeah.
He'll improve off that. He's got good second up stats, whereas in the past his first up stats were only average. I think he's got a super hope, and I think he's a super price to be having a bet. Agree with you, Class is Class. I give him a good chance in the race. His form, his first up run was excellent in a questionable race, but as I was trying to point out before, talking about that's all sort of mixing up over these shorter trips. A horse like this or Rangy Rang Do, the fact that they ran well, I think you can take with confidence. Then we get down. I want to see something from Polish Knight here. He was playing second up, but stayers can do that after sprinting well fresh. Lights of Heaven, well, if ever there's D-Day, it is this, because she was only average on first up and then she was disgraceful second up. I couldn't have backed up, but anyway. Stout Hearted, no knock on him. Expect him to run another good race, and as I would expect, Permit to run another good race, but I'm pretty keen on Moraine at that price.
Yeah, mate.
I think he's an each way bet to nothing.
I think you made a very good point as well. You can't see why there's a big difference between him and Lamasery.
It's just silly. He's raced well in Sydney in the past too. That's the other positive.
Yep.
All right. Now this is a race. The shorts, 1,200 metres. Set weights and penalties, Group 2. This is as good a sprint as I've seen in Sydney for years. This is a rip snorter. Manawanui, $9. Rain Affair, $3.80. 7 Nobby Snip, 9 Pampleone. 13 Satin Shoes, $9 Emotional Circus. I reckon there's only, in the quaddy, I reckon there's only 4 or 5 here I'd be penning. The rest of them wouldn't surprise me.
Yep, I agree with you. Mate, I don't want to be on Manawanui. I think we were having a chat before. Trial's only fair.
Yeah, look, I'm very hard on horses myself whenever something doesn't go right in a campaign, especially when they get to this level. And, you know, they backed off him after that exhibition gallop, so they obviously weren't happy with him. His trial was okay, but wasn't what I wanted to see.
No.
Not off, obviously, all wasn't 100% right. I'm not saying he had, you know, issues or anything like that, but all obviously wasn't right, or he wouldn't be waited this long to kick off.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I do like. I like the fact that Ron's come out and said they're going to ride him quiet.
Well, it's the only way to ride him in this. Yeah. They're going to go nuts.
But I think they're going to do that full stop with him now. He's got a great turn of foot. Mate, I think everyone's memories are a bit short here. Rain Affair, I know he was ordinary first up. He looked awful in the parade yard. But seriously, you take that run out and this horse, you go through his starts and he's an odds-on conveyance almost every time. If you take that run out last start, what price would he be in this race if he came here and resumed here? He'd be half that.
Yep.
And I think at $3.80, if he was around the $2.50, $2.80 mark, I'd be saying let him go again. But at $3.80, you've just got to have something on him.
Yep. In a race like this, as much as I love that horse, I couldn't tumble into anything in a race like this at $3.80.
Yep.
Nobby Snip, when was he went to resume? Was it last week or the week before?
Last week. It was supposed to resume.
You sure?
Oh, no, it might have
was
been
the
2
week
weeks
before.
ago. Yeah, it was in the... can't remember now.
I think it was in the race that Rain Affair won. Was in, sorry. Not that he won, the Concord Stakes.
Yep, you're right. Yep. Query there?
Query for me. They're saying he wasn't fit enough, but query for me because, as a rule, Gay's not the sort of trainer to nominate one and then scratch because of fitness.
No.
Query for me. Pampleone comes off a Brisbane campaign, hasn't trialled. Have spoken to Tim Martin. He's a natural athlete. He's a real Rory's jester. $9? No, I don't know. Not in this race. I think this is a lottery. I think there's so many chances. Horses like Emotional Circus, ever the same, wouldn't surprise me. Famous Seamus, he's not well treated, but he's trialled okay, and he's a good little horse, that. I've actually had something small, and I'm not having much, but I'm having something small each way on 2 horses here, both from Patnack, Renewed Vitality and Mr. Armstrong.
You're loving Patnack horses lately.
At the moment, mate, I'm telling you, at the trials, they're flying. There's a heap of them flying. I think the joint's going really good at the moment.
Clint Thompson.
Renewed Vitality. Both these horses, I wish they'd resumed in handicaps, but they're not well treated at the weights, but they're the right sort of odds, and the race is going to be run to suit. They're going to go nuts in this, and I'm expecting probably 10 of them to hit the line within the space of 2 lengths.
Really?
And I'm just hoping these are just the ones flying home late and just nabbing them. This Mr. Armstrong, sports better betting $17 a place. You could do much sillier things than that. He is great fresh horse. He's trialled great on a couple of occasions. Got a good soft draw. He'll just come with one shot at him late. And Renewed Vitality is a horse that I reckon's gone to another level of what I've seen at the trials, this preparation. Like last campaign, he went from winning a maiden to running third. What did he run third in? The Hawkesbury Gold Cup, I think it was.
Behind Sumpin Anypin.
Behind Sumpin Anypin. He was well beaten that day. He was well beaten the start before by Sumpin Anypin, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone to another level, this horse, this time.
Okay. Damien Brown takes the ride.
Damien Brown rides, does he? Good old Damien Brown. 7 days too late, Damien. Yeah. I'm having something each way on them at good odds, but I will be loading up. I will be going very wide in the quaddie here. Very wide.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a lottery, isn't it?
Even a horse like Rose of Peace, I think. Was it last campaign it won first up at massive odds?
Yeah.
I think it blew me out of the quaddie.
I think it was after a let-up it won at massive odds on that wet track.
Yeah, it was after a 56-day let-up. I was on Quidnunk at about 20 to 1 and it nailed me. A dirty, rotten, despicable thing at 101.
Mate, I think there's a couple of fillies and mares in this race. Sorry, have I touched something? In this race this week because More Joyce is in the golden...
Oh, no doubt. But this is just a rip snorter race.
Oh, it's a cracking. It's the best race on the card. I'm going to stick with Rain Fair though, mate. I just think...
I'm not going to knock you. It's just me and $3.80. Doesn't excite me in a race like this. $3.80. And here's the horse they've got to beat. And,
you know what? I agree.
And if ever there's a good horse that's entitled to be given the benefit of the doubt, it's him.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say.
All right, what's your best bets?
Best bets, mate. I think Dear Demi's the best bet across Australia on Saturday.
I think she's one of the best bets on this program for sure.
Yeah, I think she's just unbelievable. I think the value is fantastic. I think the only horse that can beat her is Norzita. I can't see Jade Marauder or Maidoon turning the tables on her. And I think Norzita, whilst everyone's looking at the Prazier saying, yes, she was the only one, Prazier had 5 lengths on the third horse, she's finished about 2.5 away from him. Dear Demi got 2.8 lengths away from a horse called Piero over pretty much the same tracking distance, a mile at Randwick. This is 15. That's better form than the Prazier form at the moment. And, mate, she's just a bet to nothing there at $3.
We don't know that, do we?
What?
The Piero Piasi.
We don't.
He's got some real X factor, this horse.
He does, and he's super exciting. But if you said to me, "Where's your hard-earned going over a mile at Randwick at this stage?" I'd be backing Piero.
Oh, for sure. Well, you've got to put Wednesday into perspective with Piasi. He beat 100 to 1 pop.
Yeah.
The third horse, I think I mentioned it earlier. In the past, he has gone good and then gone average, or not run up to what I've expect second up. So what finished behind him could have been slow coaches.
Look, exactly.
Lime's finished fourth. Like Lime's he's been struggling to get out of his own way recently. So, and it was run to suit. He made everything to suit himself, but he did dispose of them like only good horses dispose of them.
Yeah, but mate, that's the thing. I think she's one of the best. I like Shootout as well. I know you've got your concerns. I take that first up. I think there's a level of intent here from Waller to get this horse to this race. His pet distance and track first up. And look, Rain Fair, class is class. Both, I think, could be two horses that you look back in and say, gee, how do we let them go around at those odds?
My 4 biggest bets on Saturday will be Dear Demi, Torio's Quest, and these two on an each-way basis, Rangy Rangdu and Moraine.
Beautiful.
And I want to see Moraine in the first 3 when they come out, because if he's back, I'll be just swearing and cursing under my breath.
Yeah.
All right, that's Sydney. We'll pop back in a second and we'll have a look at Melbourne.